Hey guys, 0635 here. I want to show you guys another robot that we have in our collection. This is one I've had for a good while now. I've actually had this when I lived in VA, and I just never got around to messing with it much. One point I did mess with it, rather than using a power supply or anything, I just connected a adapter to it, and it managed to get to do something, but it wasn't working right. And since I'm currently using my power supply here, which this thing has helped me a lot, it's helped me energize robots and to see if they work or not, even if they don't have a battery, which is absolutely great. So for anyone wondering about Power here, he actually does work. Given the fact he's missing his arms, he has some damage to his inner servo here and to his ankle. He does power on and works. I'm just now working to get in some parts for him, and hopefully he can at least start moving around. He has no battery, of course, but that's fine. But for record, I will be showing him at some point. I will be uploading the first time got him to power on. My girlfriend is the one who recorded it, so it's a little silly, but it's crazy to actually see this thing power on just like that. So it's helped me out with him, and I was like, you know what? I've been in the mood lately to try and test out some of my other humanoids that don't have a battery or just never been tested. So as I mentioned, this is Philo Jr. or Mecha Luigi, as I call it. Usually the head's hollow, and at work, since we tend to sell these little candy fans, one of them, the head broke off, and that happens to be Luigi, and damaged out the fan, took the head, and this is the outcome. It's Mecha Luigi. Daisy's definitely gonna be really surprised to see him in this cool suit. Anyway, so robot didn't have remote, no battery, just the robot itself. I think I imported this one from Canada, I think. Yeah. So thankfully, a friend of ours who used to be a school teacher here had given us a lot of like electronic stuff, controllers that they weren't going to use anymore. And so, surprisingly enough, some of the two robots we got, which these other two are big ones, and I want to get those running at some point. Both came with PS2 remote control modules, and Philo uses a PS2 controller as well. So I swapped out the receiver, the wireless receivers, and of course, if I can find like other PS2 controllers rather than using a cheap one, I could definitely use it in Philo Jr. and it would look much cooler. But yeah, so using the appropriate voltage, which is like 6 volt. His battery is normally 6 volts, 700 milliamp hours, so that's exactly what I have in on the power supply to run to him. As you can see here, I got my janky setup, power leads, cord. The reason it looks like this is because this was actually plugged into Power for testing. And of course, this connects into the battery area. So, without further ado, let's energize the power supply and then the robot. So he's pretty interesting. He doesn't do a whole lot. I'm still trying to figure out his commands. I've looked up the manual, and of course, I think this one was originally a ready-to-walk version. This was not a kit. So I'm still trying to figure out what some of the commands are, and at one point I had managed to get him to do a demo, but for some odd reason, for the love of me, I cannot remember. So here is walking forward, backwards, turning. This servo here tends to have some issues, so I'm going to probably open this one at some point and click the potentiometer in there and see if that might help it. Not sure why he does that. Let me reset him. Nope. Let's see if I can get him to get up. Control's being finicky. I don't know if my batteries are good or not in the controller. Come on. Hold on. Not using really much of a tripod right now. Oh my gosh, that's not gonna help. Yeah, it's not gonna help. Let me see. Yeah, he's still on. Blast. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay, so from what we read in the manual at one point, it says that the your like triangle, circle, X, and square are supposed to be modes for this thing, and I'm not entirely sure what was programmed into this thing, so I'm just kind of being blind with this. He is able to get himself back up, and he just reset. Let's see. This is what I mean by servo. I can move it up like this, and eventually it starts catching. There's not really a whole lot to show. So if you guys enjoyed this little video of Philo Jr., if you stay tuned on my robot demos channel, I'll be posting more videos of... I'll be doing a full demo of him once I can figure out a few of the other button combinations. And I'll also be showing a few other robots. So stay tuned for more, and I'll catch you on the next one.